It should work. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey everybody! Yay! I'm so glad to be here. Awesome! Let's get going with the news and updates. And we have a ton of news for you today. So my name is Laurel.
I hope you can hear me. I'm Donna, the other host here at News and Updates. Please give me hearts and tell me my voice is okay. I've been talking for an hour, re-enter twice. I hope that's okay. And Mark, thank you so much for letting me know. Mark, the dazzling producer, world builder, filmer, and plain genius behind this weekly AltspaceVR news show. He is behind the camera bot, live streaming to everyone out in the metaverse and beyond. And let me tell you, later when people watch this video, they will not know we had problems with slides, is my guess, because he is a genius. Now, AltSpace news. It's been a quiet week here in Lake AltspaceVR, right? Not. Just like the real world, AltspaceVR has shaken a bit this week. So before we get to the serious stuff, let's start with some of the positive goodies, and there were a few.
Indeed. So coming up this week there was already a special event earlier this week, today, for Black Lives Matter, and coming up this week there will be even more that were presented by Pamplemousse and by Frank Clayton with support from AltspaceVR. This joins other discussions by panels and panels by educators in VR and other groups and individuals to ensure voices are heard and views are shared. As a global community, the variety of voices on this subject provides a unique opportunity to see this from so many perspectives. So please take advantage of this, as now is the time to listen and learn from each other.
And rejoice you all. AltspaceVR has long overdue, revamped their support system to keep up with the tremendous demand in the past few months. All support contact will be through the website at altvr.com/contact. There are specific web pages for support, and we've posted them in the entrance area, as well as on the slide behind us for help. And there is a new enterprise support contact form as well for business bringing their events and conferences into AltspaceVR.
Yay, and many changes. And as more and more corporations and academic institutions come on board AltspaceVR with meetups and events and workshops and conferences, it comes with a bonus. Not sure if y'all know this. Those with money tend to demand things, especially improvements. And if Microsoft and AltspaceVR are as responsive as we know they can be, it could mean more funding and support for improvements in AltspaceVR. Love that.
Oh, you guys, that's seriously awesome. There needs to be way more hearts in the room for this one, just so you know.
Indeed.
We are also hearing rumors of some very exciting news coming up very soon. How do you like that for a teaser?
Yeah.
As with every community, there are rumors and then there are rumors. This one should keep you up at night. And we don't have specifics or verification. So you're probably going to be kept up for a few nights.
Indeed.
Don't you love this when people tell you, I know something, but I can't tell you? Oh my goodness me.
I
Now we're
love
doing
that
to you. So we don't have specifics or verification, but expect that the end of June, July, or as late as the 1st of August, for some exciting news and improvements in AltspaceVR. Now, if that doesn't give you pause for joy, I'm not sure what will. Now, can we be any more vague? No.
I don't think so, no.
The queen of words over here has mastered it again. So we would be more specific, but the rumors are vague, and we are, and we like reporting on facts, not fiction or assumption. So as soon as we know, you will know. Okay, so you guys up for that? Please start breathing again now.
Yes.
Please do not hold your breath.
All right. So
Seriously, you guys, I don't know about how amused you are when people do this, but I just really love it when people say that. I know something and I can't tell you.
Well, the truth is we haven't gotten verification. People can know everything they want, but until it's verified, we're kind of like, there you go. We're not professional
Now you know how
reporters
much
up
we
here.
love you.
At least we're hinting. Okay. All right. So on a totally and completely different note, last week was the launch of a new group in AltspaceVR called the Autism Channel. I hope you all were there. They have their own Discord and will be hosting regular events here in Altspace. Now, this group is really special because it's designed to represent those with autism in all of its various forms, as well as researchers and educators that are supporting them. And autism is very, very complex field, trust me. It was a fantastic meetup, and we are eager to welcome their members to AltspaceVR. Be aware that when many of us look at the community that is the life and blood of AltspaceVR, many, many, many sensitive groups are represented here, including those with social and other anxieties, disabilities, mental health issues, and autism. AltspaceVR isn't a utopia, but it is a safe space and a place for everyone. And thanks to you, we're all working together to keep it that way. So welcome to everyone from the Autism Channel and to all the beautiful diversity that is here in AltspaceVR.
And it is really awesome to have a safe space to be able to have a conversation. I hear that so much, more so now during the pandemic, as people are getting talk and just get to unload their hearts, right? And that they don't care, they don't have to worry about what those feelings may be, because we go through all these different stages of feelings, right? And that it's a safe space to do that. I love that about Altspace. Now, okay, sads, get ready for the sad emojis. On the sadder side of things, we are 9 days away from officially saying goodbye to Samsung Gear users in AltspaceVR. What a ride it has been, and we're heartbroken that it's coming to an end. A couple months ago, Samsung and Oculus stopped supporting this VR device that changed so much of the world, introducing consumers to affordable, interactable virtual reality. Many of us discovered AltspaceVR in those first days, and we are sad to see another device bite the dust of technology marching on. Help us spread the word to those you know still using the Samsung Gear. Remind them if they do not have a replacement device yet, there is still access through 2D and desktop. And you guys, 2D and desktop it's not the same, but it is definitely a better option than not being part of the community. But
yeah,
yes,
that's
we have
true.
the sads to say this.
Yeah. Unfortunately, so
It's one of those things that not every device like that is just one. It's just not possible to accommodate every device at some point. But that doesn't mean we don't go through our mourning period. So
yes, indeed. All right, now on back to a little bit of exciting news. I'm sorry.
She's on a roll today, people. Beware.
Oh, goodness. So I hope you all do watch the live stream, because Mark has I have not seen the slides yet, and Mark has put together an amazing slide for this, and I so wish you could see it. So watch the live stream at the 10-minute mark. You've got to see this one, literally. Okay. So a heads up to those new to the news.
She's laughing at something none of the rest of us
I
can
know,
see.
it
Like,
is
how
terrible, but
cool
it's
is
worth
that?
it. Oh my God, it's so worth it. Welcome to virtual reality and multiple metaverses. So, all right, heads up
For
to
those
who
of you
are
in
new
the
to
audience
news
that
and
are
updates.
muted,
We are
let
getting
me do
close
it for you.
to the
For those
second
for-
year of the show. And Mark, our producer, is already planning some exciting surprises and great celebrations. We also thought we'd put the question out to you. How can we make the news better? How can you become more involved? What ideas do you have to make this second year anniversary even more special? We're always looking for suggestions and your input, as this is a community project. So let us know on our Discord or after the show, and get ready for some fun this fall.
Now, just as just a never-ending list of fun and games here in AltSpace VR. As with all things news and updates from AltSpace VR, we report on these in our news and updates Discord server and invite you to join if you haven't already, where you can keep up with all the news across our community and find the YouTube streaming and saved video links. Today's is one you're going to want to make sure you find. Great place to find
Without
it.
a doubt, just to see that one slide. Absolutely. I'm still laughing. I'm sorry.
And you get to fast forward through a whole bunch of parts.
Oh my goodness. All right, now on to some world building news. As we've been saying over the past few weeks, there are many rumors.
Oh, seriously.
I know it. I know. Trust me, when you see this, you'll be still laughing. All right. There are still more rumors that are going around about improvements to world building and the MRE and the SDK, and we cannot wait to see what the AltspaceVR dev team comes up with very soon. Maybe sooner, maybe not, but we're ready for some new things going on.
Well, again, right in the middle of news and updates, there's a catastrophe happening at the fire station next door. Sorry about that.
Oh, no.
It sounds like they're planning this. Anyways, there was also some anxiety and many broken hearts this week as one of the creative world builders in AltspaceVR left this week, unfortunately taking some of the kits with them. We can't speak about that, but we can about the impact. And to help those who aren't world builders understand, here's a short lesson on how the kits in the world editor work.
So AltspaceVR has grouped kits in the world editor, which everyone has access to in their home space and in their own little worlds or big worlds or tiny, whatever they are, into 3 different groups. The AltspaceVR, Mine, and Featured. So a kit is a collection of what are known as assets. These are Unity-created 3D models of ground and rocks and trees and furnitures and boats and cars and balloons and food and whatever. And the kit groups these assets by type or some kind of relationship, such as the Viking kit grouped by the fact that they are all from a Viking village kit. So they're all related. And AltspaceVR kits are created and maintained by the AltspaceVR staff and the developers and world builders who make the templates and public access worlds like the Campfire and the Info Zone.
Now, Featured are kits put together or created by the AltspaceVR staff and the community. Community gifted kits are vetted by staff and included so they may be shared among everyone. To access these kits, go to Settings, General, and enable the Beta Access Program. Once you've done that, click Enable Worlds Beta, also to ensure that you see the Worlds tab on your menu. This will cause you to reload into the space where you are in, and you will see featured kits when you open the World Editor.
Now, kits under the Mine category are ones that are shared with you by other builders, other kit builders. So please note that the sharing of original, and let me emphasize, originally created assets in a kit is welcome and encouraged as a person is sharing the kit and they own the intellectual property and the copyright, thus permission to share. If the shared kit comes from the Unity Asset Store or another third-party 3D model service, check with that person who is sharing it with you to ensure that the fine print from the original copyright holder, it's right there, the licensing is right there on the kit when they buy it or they download it for free. Find out if it allows distribution and sharing. And sharing in a way that violates copyright is against the AltspaceVR terms of service. So we don't want to get anybody in trouble. And we don't want Altspace to get in trouble if people are sharing kits where you're not allowed to do, it's against the intellectual property.
So let's go back to the featured kits for a moment. And this applies to shared kits also under Mine. If the person who shared the kit changes the kit, it will change the kit items in your world. Mountains may be bigger, smaller, chairs might be upside down, assets may improve, but who knows? It's a risk we all take. If they delete the kit, you will lose all assets in your worlds from that kit and it will be removed from the world editor list. If they quit Altspace and delete their account, the same thing happens. That's what happened this week.
Fortunately and unfortunately, the pirate and Viking kits were among some of the most popular kits in use here in user-created worlds. They went away, and they left many without land, ships, snow, mountains. I know Daisy was impacted, and Diamond, and myself, and so many of us, and it just left us with empty worlds, or weird-looking worlds. Trust me. And some worlds couldn't even be accessed because the removal of the assets triggered some database issues requiring the world to be reset before the owner could enter. Now, some of these worlds, very popular, including the worlds by Daisy Shaw, Karen 666, and the Rooftop Crew. And it was heartbreaking on multiple levels.
Now, luckily, the kits were still available on Unity, and the world-building developers of AltspaceVR were able to not just restore the kits, but adjust the database information so that the kits were restored also inside these worlds. Now, you guys, that deserves massive love.
No kidding.
Because that saved a lot of time. Now, this issue has always been a risk. Okay, so when it comes to world building, this has always been a risk, and the AltspaceVR dev team is exploring how to stabilize and minimize this kind of risk. So expect more news and details on this soon. But safe to say that this was an experience in how kits work for all of us in Altspace this week, right? Lesson learned hard, learned well.
Yes. So going forward, please take care and share when sharing assets. And please, if you choose to share assets that are featured, and work with the AltspaceVR team to ensure they are maintained in a way that won't let future personality conflicts interfere with the community's joy of having access to such wonderful VR content for world building. We so appreciate all of our world builders and how much they give to the community in so many ways, creating worlds we can explore, play in, hang out in, meditate, worlds that stimulate the imagination. It's a privilege to build worlds and all of our creativity to thrive here. And situations like this hit the whole community, not just a few. So thank you for all that you do, and please don't let this get in your way. Keep building worlds.
That's right. Don't let this scare you away from building your own worlds and inviting new people to play and explore. There are many ways to learn about world building here in AltspaceVR.
Absolutely. And I love our world builders. There are world building channels in the official Discord server for AltspaceVR, and they love helping. We have regular world building events with Andy Fidel of Get Social and other community helpers, including our own Daisy Shaw and Darren, throughout the week. And their community made videos on YouTube to help you through many of the steps with the world editor in Unity. And don't forget the support documents at help.altvr.com.
And remember, you have the unbelievable opportunity to attend the SDK/MRE meetups weekly to learn what is going on with world building and how to improve your programming skills to add interactivity, motion, special effects to your world building. And just remember, when you go the first time, if you don't understand all the language, keep going. I think we learn through osmosis sometimes, but we all have to start somewhere, and we all learn in stages, right? So one day you'll hear something, you'll be able to apply it, and you'll be so empowered, and then it'll be in stages like that. So even if, just remember that everybody started in the same place, really. Mm-hmm. Now take advantage also of the world tours that are showcasing the vast variety of worlds in Altspace. Yes, we know the featured worlds list hasn't been updated in a while, thanks to COVID-19 interfering in the work of the Altspace staff in Seattle, but experienced world builders often accompany the tours to answer your questions. Andy Fidel, Daisy Shaw, and the World Tour Showcase offer inspiring tours to help motivate you about building your own dreams into virtual reality. And when you're on these tours, make sure to favorite the worlds so that you can visit them again, because sometimes the tours go fast, right? You're getting to a bunch of worlds. Make sure to favorite them and go back. And often the world builder show up in their own worlds, right? Often you'll meet people, just builders just wandering around, and you'll get one-on-one conversations with them.
Absolutely. Now, on Wednesdays, the World Tour Showcase goes a little step beyond. Every Wednesday, they take users on a tour of a themed world, and once a month, they offer a tutorial on world building. This week, the tutorial is on positioning, rotating, and scale, something I know that puts terror into the hearts of many of the world builders. So they also crowdsource worlds based on a theme, and for the last tour of the month. And this month, last was water. This month, the theme is fire. Woo! This is an opportunity to seek out worlds with a strong fire theme or build your own. If you do, make sure that you share it with the News and Updates team or with the World Builders Tour Discord at discord.me/world tours. The link should be somewhere in the wall out there. And we'd love to showcase your fiery world.
Now, we love sharing new worlds we've discovered with you, and we love it more when you share your worlds with us. We have a channel called Share Your World in News. It's just waiting for you to show off your world so we may feature it here.
Yay! Now, are you ready? It's time for events. So as mentioned, we have some great Black Lives Matters events this week in Altspace, and expect more. Seriously, they are amazing opportunities to hear from the various sizes and share your own feelings in a safe space. And trust me, we all have plenty of feelings about what's going on here, and we need to support and encourage each other. And because the outside world seeps in no matter what we do here. So thank you to all of the community members that are offering these events for free to the community.
Now, Reggie Watts continues with his explorations into reinterpreted reality. We have one more week with this amazing vocal artist, beatboxer, musician, and comedian. His special exclusive AltspaceVR performances bring us together for music and a shared experience in this time where we really, really need it. Just to get our minds off of stuff for a period of time, right?
And
it's
to
great.
Celebrate just an amazing artist who's, out of the kindness of his heart, he's come into Altspace to give this whole series eight performances exclusive. That is pretty darn cool. I love that. And Saturday night wouldn't be Saturday night without Evolve VR's Saturday Night After Party and the happy hour hangout with Alan Chow and friends. They continue. It just continues in a few hours. And honestly, it's another great opportunity to take a break from the fuss all around us and reconnect with friends and meet some new ones.
Now, Late Night with Buddy happens later today, and it features Dawn from A Thing in a Place show here on AltspaceVR. We love Dawn, and we know that Buddy will have his hands full with the chaos Dawn brings with him. Be prepared to laugh hard and have a great time with Buddy and Dawn later on tonight.
I just can't even see that. Dawn is just gonna. Oh, if you all know Dawn from A Thing in a Place, chaos seriously follows him. It's going to be really interesting. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be amazing. Now, Educators in VR is hosting another volunteer meetup. It's not for the International Summit, but it is for the organization as they host a variety of different free and paid events, and we need help. Educators in VR need some help with all of those things. So this event is hosted by Dawn and myself. It's an opportunity to become more involved and learn new skills in and around event hosting and teaching in VR. It's also a great way to connect and collaborate with other educators, learners, researchers, and just passionate fans of VR. So join the Educators in VR production team and learn how you can support their events and productions throughout this summer and fall. And boy, there's some really exciting ones, including in a week, the Immersive Learning Research Network is having an amazing conference. You can get in free by volunteering, and it's a 4-day conference. And also there's a student takeover of the UN coming up, and you want to be a part of that. So make sure you get involved, and we'll be meeting right after the news.
And I know what you all are thinking. Yay! Another hour with Donna and Laurel. Yay! But hey, we'll make it worth your while. Volunteering, volunteering is one of the greatest things in Altspace, and I think that's what you'll find when you talk to people. If you're new in Altspace, talk to people that are other people that are new, but people that have been here for a while, and all the wonderful experiences they've had. And so many of them have focused around volunteering. The people they met, the experiences they had, the experiences they shared, etc. So this gives you an opportunity to get involved. Now, Ron is back with his humanism presentations, and this week he brings a discussion on the simulation hypothesis, the perception of reality as virtual reality or not, and what is the argument for and against this concept. Always expect a great discussion with Ron and his Meetup fans.
Indeed. Now, we love language learning opportunities in AltspaceVR, be it to learn a new language, to work on a language that you already have some fluency with and you want to improve. Well, tomorrow Molly is hosting the English and Russian open conversation session. There are also some sessions that are coming up in Japanese later this week. And Michael McDonald Gold Lotus presents another one of his amazing series of English conversation classes called Learn English Class. And it's tomorrow and all throughout the entire week. Seriously, he's an amazingly gifted teacher. It's great to watch him in action with his students. Now remember, these events are designed for those who need to work on their language skills. If you're fluent in that language, please be supportive of others who are learning and of the instructor, okay? Because it's an excellent opportunity for them to stretch their imagination and learn how to communicate better in a language that isn't their own.
Now, speaking of languages, the V language workshops are back at AltspaceVR with Michael McDonald, returning with a V language global outlook from Russia. Nice. Now, one of the great things about Michael is when you're done a class, you don't really know if you were learning a language or you were learning information. You forget that you're learning because it's just this fun experience, okay? So join these two excellent English and Russian language teachers that are going to be speaking at the V Language Global Outlook for Russia. There's going to be a discussion on the impact of language learning on a global and virtual scale with a Russian perspective, and that's happening on Thursday.
I love it. We're going
I'd love to tell you the time too. It's right in my time zone. I'm nocturnal. I don't know if you know this.
Okay.
But check the calendar. It's a sweet time for this one.
Yeah. Now, Sunday, speaking of languages, Sunday is also the start of the C# programming, again with week 1, learning classes and fields and methods and more as a demonstration. And it's a great way to learn one of the most popular programming languages for mobile phones. So don't miss out on I love the educational stuff here.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we have time to learn and we have time to absorb. We have time for that. So taking advantage of that. This isn't going to happen and last forever, right? So many opportunities. A new improv musical comedy show. Can you guys still hear me, or do I need to re-enter? Give me hearts or sad faces?
Well, it's a little mix. It's sad faces. All right,
okay,
so I'll cover with this. So a new improv musical comedy show for adults is tomorrow called Reznov, we hope. This isn't an open improv session, but an improvisational performance by the artist accompanied by music created with the professional humming technique. Okay, so we had to look that up, and we still have no idea what that is about. So you have to go to the event and figure it out and come back and tell us, all right? We need it reported back. All right, now we have Donna. Are you back? There she, all right. You come on up. We've got Jay for you. All yours. About Evolve VR.
Am I talking about Evolve VR?
Yes, you are. Yes. Am I on megaphone? Am I here? Yes, yes, you
Especially
are.
Evolve VR. Okay, you guys, hang on, because I don't have to put on my makeup, but what I have to do is make sure that I'm actually on air. Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yay.
Well, I haven't asked for emojis so much in an event before. A special Evolve VR event with Jeremy Nickel and the author Frank White is also tomorrow. Frank White is a world-renowned best-selling author and futurist who coined the term overview effect. He coined that more than 30 years ago, and we live with that term today as a cognitive shift in awareness that comes from viewing the Earth from orbit or the moon, changing our perspective on the world around us. White found that the worldview astronauts have on our planet changes, something we only know intellectually, and he has spent his life helping us to explore that concept. You don't want to miss this incredible opportunity to meet the legend Frank White here in AltspaceVR, all happening tomorrow.
So excited about that. All right. Now, don't forget that while the events are not set up yet for Burning Man, take time to explore the Burning Man worlds, as the team for Burning Man has made AltspaceVR its home base. It features about a dozen worlds interconnected and some innovative uses of Unity and MRE. Oh, the artwork is amazing. So it's worth a visit while they finish development on it and the main world is open. You'll often see it in the popular list. They are planning on keeping it open for the next year or more. Long time Burning Man. I love that.
Now, Educators in VR Researchers, is hosting a panel of experts in VR research this Tuesday with panelists from universities in Canada, the US, and Europe. Each brings their unique perspective to VR research to help us better understand how and what is being researched in VR and help those researching in more immersive technologies learn from those who have gone before and faced the challenges. The ongoing research into VR helps us understand better the opportunities, potential, and the risks associated with this emerging technology. So that's happening on Tuesday, guys.
Yeah. And Doug Hohulin is the solution architect for Nokia. He has overseen the development and distribution of 1G to 5G networks all around the world. And he is presenting a unique program on lessons learned from the first 1 billion cell and smartphones and what we can expect from the first 1 billion 5G users. That's going to be interesting. So 5G is anticipated to allow consumers easy access to VR and AR technologies, integrating it into education as well as our day-to-day lives. Do y'all know that Google Maps now has AR integrated into it? It is pretty darn cool. All right, so 5G is also proposed to reach around the world, democratizing access. So don't miss this amazing discussion on where we've been and where we're going with Educators in VR on Tuesday.
Now, coming up on Wednesday is another V-Coaching workshop with Captain VR, Dana Maria.
Yay!
This week, she is bringing Rose Potcolder to talk to us. She is a clinical psychologist specializing in virtual reality therapy, and she's been specializing in that since 2012, and a specialist also in the treatment of psychosis. She will talk about how to use VR for healthy coping strategies, especially in this time of high anxiety and stress, and the therapies and techniques in VR to avoid escalating these fears. Check that out with the Educators in VR on Wednesday.
Yeah. Now, Preset continues his series of meetups for songwriters and producers so members of our community can discuss how they use tools and techniques to make beautiful music and find others interested in the same thing. Now, y'all know us. We love it when meetups bring people together over topics beyond those typically found here in VR. So if you have a passion or a hobby you'd like to share with others, come on, create your own meetup group. Bring people together and talk and see what you want to do. It's beautiful.
Now, speaking of shared passions, join JVB for Beethoven Fan Club Meetup happening Wednesday. You can chat and listen to the master's third or fourth piano concerto and share your love of classical music with others.
That is a cool thing to do in VR. I think that is amazing. I love that. All right, now I feel like drum roll. Speaking of cool things, I'm so excited about this. The Virtual World Society is meeting Thursday for their fireside chats. The grandfather, Tom Furness, is the grandfather and the inventor of VR headsets. Seriously, he's amazing. And this week, he invites another legend, Chris Stapleton, of Semiosis Real World Labs, for a discussion. And it's not just your normal discussion, trust me. Chris is one of the genius minds behind the use of VR, AR, and XR in theme parks around the world. He has extensive research studies in examining the emergence of XR to better understand how VR and virtual effects can enhance social cohesion and reverse what they see as an epidemic of isolation. Now, isn't that timely? Wow, that kind of research is incredibly timely. But this isn't your normal surface COVID-19 isolation research. This is really deep stuff because he's been studying aphasia, especially as it relates to the isolation felt from the Nazi concentration camps and astronauts spending months and years isolated in space. I mean, think about the people who go down to Antarctica. And boy, the isolation they're going through this year is worse than the isolation they normally go through. So they're exploring all of those things and how VR can change things. Now, we are so privileged to have the Virtual World Society here in AltspaceVR, and this is an amazing opportunity to learn and talk to some of the great pioneers in this technology. So check that event out for sure on Thursday.
So many things to do in AltspaceVR. Next Saturday, the XR Creators Speaker Series brings Federico Marian, a computer science engineer from the University of Buenos Aires. Oh, sorry.
Buenos Aires.
Thank you. She can say it better. He is also a software developer at Ideamatic and a visual artist and teacher of computer graphics in where?
Buenos Aires.
My co-host.
Buenos Aires.
He specializes in development of 3D apps and experimenting with art and technology. We love not just the educational speakers and events we have here at AltspaceVR, but also the scope of creativity. AltspaceVR is becoming a place to come to be inspired. Do you agree? Give me emojis. Give us emojis if you have been inspired by something that has been presented in all that you participated with in AltspaceVR, right? Isn't that incredible? Yes.
That is so amazing. So please check out the events calendar and make sure you mark an event as interested or RSVP so you can receive an email reminder an hour prior to the event so you don't miss a moment of fun here in AltSpace. Okay, so now we're going to open up the floor, and we have a great question here from one of our amazing fans. And it has to do with what Donna and I were talking about earlier today, and that is about why do you volunteer here in AltSpace? And Donna, why? Why should people volunteer?
You know, there's so many things, but it comes to the crux of if you volunteered in your real life, in your community as you're growing up or whatever, what we learn when we volunteer is we get more than we give. And that is just something that when you volunteer, you there's so many things that happen, and it sometimes feels like a selfish activity. Because we certainly do. We meet so many people. We get to enjoy experiences. Sometimes a room is full, but we get in because we're volunteering. Sometimes we get the opportunity to have one-on-one conversations with people that the rest of the audience may not. really, it goes on and on. But I think relationships is probably, when you drill right down to it, the opportunity to help someone empowers you, and the relationship you build from that really lasts forever. So that's what it is for me.
Oh, I love it. And I love the fact that it is a heart of service, and we have some big hearts right here in this room. And so we'd love to put the question out to you. Why do you think it's a good idea to volunteer, and how do you volunteer and contribute here in this community? So hit the raise hand button in the lower right-hand corner. And I want to point out some of our big hearts here. We have Ancient, I won't say, I think we're going on like 2 years of working together. Love him, one of my superheroes who's just always there to help out. And Serenity, love Serenity. And the amazing Karen 666 is over there greeting people as they come in the door. And there's more. There's Karen, and there's Ariel and Diamond and others, and even Donna and Mark and things. We give just very generously here, and we love it. So we've got some people here that have something to say. All right. So maybe, how about you? You're on air.
Oh,
Hi, do you want to talk about why people should volunteer here in Altspace?
I feel like people should volunteer because, like, people helping out the community, like helping people out and all that.
Okay. You just hit the button because it was there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you? That's okay. We love it. We love it. All right, that's a good reason. Okay, fantastic, because it is a community. Maybe that is a beautiful thing. It is a community, and a community works because we work together, and I think that's beautiful. Soul Seeker, how about you? Hi, you're on the air.
Oh.
Soul Seeker?
I think helping out is because you meet lots of different people from different backgrounds, and you learn
Great
about
reason.
each individual circumstances.
Mm-hmm. Do you volunteer for any to help with any projects or programs here yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
I'm just a beginner.
Well, welcome. Glad you're here.
But I volunteered in the real world, so
What do you do in the real world?
I used to volunteer for English Heritage, which is at a country house near where I live. So that was really interesting. Meet different people who I'd get out and about and experience different things about history and share a bit about the house and the people who live there.
Fantastic. Oh, that's wonderful. I love that. You're a world building tour leader, and don't even know it yet. That's awesome. I love that. Well, welcome, and I hope that you find some great opportunities to get involved here, because it's a beautiful community here. We love our community. Okay, let's see. Who do we have up next? Is AM Green.
Oh, God. Okay.
Oops, you just muted yourself. Okay. So you're still on air if you want to unmute yourself. All right, now you're on air again. You want to say something?
She muted again.
Nope. Okay, I guess not. All right. Anyone else? Just hit the raise hand button. For me, I got started volunteering with, oh gosh, I can't remember the first things I did. It was all events. It was moderation. And I just loved it. I helped out with the meditation events and with many, many different events moderating for a long time. Diamond.
Okay. Hello. Moderation is my life.
You're an awesome moderator.
I feel like I do it all the time, and I just love it. My master's is in conflict, so I guess it just fits right with that. But I had no idea that I would get as involved in Altspace the minute I put on my headset. But I volunteered also a lot in real life, and a lot of that was stopped because of COVID. And so when I came into Altspace then, there was so many opportunities to volunteer. that it has just filled any hole I had in my life. That because there's always something to do and new people to meet and places to go and just things to learn. So it's
Beautiful.
been amazing.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for your amazing heart of service. That is so beautiful. And yet, it's
Can I just say
kind of fun doing moderation,
Mm.
What, Donna? Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to add that one of the things that we get asked at 101s, Diamond and I host 101s here, and one of the things that we get asked quite often is about, are you paid? Do you work for AltSpace? Had it again a few minutes ago in 101 just prior to this. And the fact is no, that we are not, that the AltSpace is full of volunteers. So every time you go to an event, everything that has to do with that event was a volunteer. A group of volunteers that put their heart and their soul into stuff. Every time you go into a world, it was a group of people or a person that put their heart and soul into what you're seeing. The admin for AltSpace that is in the campfire 24/7, there's a person in there manning the campfire. That is literally the only paid position in AltSpace. Every single thing that gets done outside of that is by a volunteer. And you guys, we always need volunteers. What's amazing to me is where there's so many that are willing to do that, right? So the next time that you go to an event, keep that in mind when you're throwing up hearts and emojis, etc., that those people gave their time so that you could enjoy it. And they love it too. They do it because they love it. And I just think that's most amazing in this community.
Absolutely. Serenity, you want to say something?
Hey,
You're
yes.
on.
I started modding for Centre Stage, which happens on Sundays, as a singing and music teacher. It was logical for me to volunteer to mod for that along with my friends that I have in Altspace. And I sing there as well most weeks. And then we had I thought I'll get involved with Educators in VR because I am a teacher. It's logical. And I offered, because it was the international conference we had in February for Educators in VR, which Lorelle and Donna very much were the big bosses for, organised everything. It was very complicated. It was half term for me at the time. So I said, I'm free. And I said, I can do all these times. And we put it all on spreadsheets, etc., what times I could do. And they gave me 26 hours of moderation and hosting.
And you
ask and you shall
and
receive.
co-hosting.
Yeah.
Yes. And since it was the first big conference in VR ever like that one, I suddenly found myself in situations where there wasn't a co-host. I jump on the stage. I learned how to do slides really quickly. Had to learn lots of things that week. I played some music when we didn't have a speaker turn up. I did a bit of tap dancing on the stage.
We loved it.
I like the fact that I learned a lot from the international conference, and I'm planning to keep volunteering for Educators in VR and for music events, and eventually do my own music event. But I'm still working on my own confidence to do that.
Oops, which doesn't make any sense to us.
Thanks, guys. I love volunteering and moderating.
I know,
Don't like
but
kicking
that doesn't
people.
make any
I love doing it.
sense. It doesn't make any sense because you have all the confidence in the world. We love it.
The power of the kick button. Now there's
is.
something we haven't talked
Yeah,
about.
I know it.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna do just a couple more quick ones. All right. Oh, Ancient, I won't say our dear friend.
So for me, it's
Oops. Okay. You want to hit the raise hand button again? Ancient, I won't say.
for me, it's a bit more on a personal level. Because I count here you and Donna is one of my personal friends by now, and for me it is ensuring that the event they put so much much heart blood into it runs smoothly. So it is sort of a gesture of friendship as well as a community service in general.
Beautiful. And it is. It is about friends helping friends, without a doubt. Thank you, Agent. That is gorgeous. I love it. And now I want to use Mark here, who's floating around in two places. He's the blue robot in the back corner, and he's also this orange or this yellow and red thing right here in front. He started doing this news show almost 2 years ago because he wanted to give back to the community, and he also knew that it'd be good for him. Oh, am I off megaphone? Thank you, Serenity. God, I love everybody. Everybody's hang on, I can't get to it because I got a million messages. Okay, all right, now I know. Thank you. Okay. I'm off air. I'm off everything. I don't know what the heck is going on here. Okay, lost everything. All right. So I want to bring up Mark, who is the producer of this event. Hi, Marky. Hi, Mark. Here you are. Mark is here. He is also in the back corner there as the little glow-in-the-dark robot over there. And there, he's waving to himself. Mark's playing with himself. There you go. I didn't say that out loud. Did I say that out loud? Okay, anyway.
We've talked about this inner-outer voice.
I know. I gotta stop this. Anyway, Mark started the news here in Altspace because he wanted to give back to the community, and he also has publicly stated that he has social anxiety issues, and it took him a long time to even say anything. And now he's not only that, he tried to take over doing a whole news show, which is just, I mean, really, you go from being a wallpaper flower to running a news show, and the courage and the faith in himself and in others to do this is amazing, and that is part of what it means beautifully. Seriously, come on, give it up some hearts for Mark. Yay! For going above and beyond the call of duty to give back to the community, to make sure that you all have a place where you can come for almost 2 years now to learn about what's going on in Altspace, so that we have some connective tissue and we're not wandering around and making assumptions, that you have a place where you can get the news. And so thank you, Mark and Mark and Mark and Ping Pong Mark. Please, for there you go, Mark and Mark and Mark. For and multi-talented, 2 hands and 2 computers, to make sure that we have a safe space here to share the news and make this happen. So you have an opportunity here for leadership, for confidence, for personal growth, for building up those skills and doing some really great things. So take advantage of it. All right. Now, that is all for today's news and updates. Remember, the conversation does not stop here. In AltspaceVR, Discord is our home for our community outside of Altspace, and we invite you to join the news and updates Discord to keep up with the news that is the news all around the industry and everywhere.
Now, we live stream the news onto YouTube every week, and you can catch up with past episodes to learn more about how AltspaceVR works and what's going on in the community. We've also added the AltspaceVR announcements feed to our news and updates server. So you won't miss a minute of the news, so make sure to check out the Discord server.
Absolutely. And we are here to keep you updated on the news in Altspace. So tell a friend, share a Discord in the YouTube channel so others can keep up with the news in and around all of Altspace.
Now, in case you didn't catch this, if you would like to volunteer and help us out, we need you. We would love it. We do this for you, but we also need your help. We need people to help us with all sorts of things like filming and live streaming. We need people to supply us with pictures and photos from the events and activities around Altspace. If you see a world that's cool, we want to hear about it. We need writers and editors, monitors, backup hosts. So if you would like to help us, let us know on our Discord server or after today's show. We're happy to hear from you.
Now, normally we hang around to answer all your questions, but we have an event to go to in just a couple minutes, Dawn and I, but Mark will be here to help you out, and he'll probably join us in the volunteer.
And you're all coming? Now, what are you talking about? They're all coming with us.
They're all coming with us, so there you go. So we'll have the volunteer event is right after that, in this beautiful world that Mark designed. And so thank you to all of our volunteers. Uncertain times.